Hello again, and we are back and we are nearly out of the 12 days of Christmas. Can you believe it? Only a couple more days to go. And I am going to be working with this little beauty, which is the Nordic Square. Now, I've already started to cut one out for you to show you, but actually I changed my mind in the colouring halfway. So I thought I would go right from the beginning to show you. Now, why I like this one is because it is traditional but with a modern twist, and I think that that's rather quite nice. So we've got a little Nordic pattern going on here, but it's almost like a poinsettia, which I think is really, really pretty. I've done this one with the waterfall gold card, but because I wanted to make it look a little bit less blingy for a change, I have decided against that one for this, but I'm going to just show you how I would set this up. So I've already used my outer die. You get 4 dies in the set. 1, 2, 3, and there's a smaller one as well. I've already cut out my coconut white card with the larger piece, and I'm just going to show you how I would set up these dies to fit them in. So I take a long piece of tape, using good old John Lockwood's idea here, where I will pick that one up and then I will hover that over my other die so that it's just about in the middle, and then press these pieces down here so that I've really got hold of the 2 dies, and this acts as a sort of handle where I can hover over my piece of work, place that just where I want it to, and I'm moving them all at the same time then, rather than sort of sticking one down and cutting into the tape and all sorts of things like that. So it's a piece of Scotch low tack tape, repositional tape. Pop that on, oh, excuse me, and run that through your die. Now, you'll be pleased to hear that I have already done that. So I've got that one there. Now, I'm just going to take this die out because we want this one again in a minute. And I'm going to use my first layer. And my first layer is a piece of vintage gold, craft artist vintage gold. And this is the satin card. So this has been cut out. So this is approximately 13.5 by 13.5 centimetres. And this one has been cut out so that it is half a centimetre wider all the way round. So, oh, it's glaring off of you, but there you go. So you've got that pretty mark there. So I'm just going to grab my spray box, and I'm going to put this in to spray some glue onto there, so that I'm going to be sticking that straight down onto my gold piece. Okay, knocking my head off with the fumes, but nevertheless, all in the thing of science. So I'm just going to pop that so that that has got a little bit of a gold border all the way around, and then just by putting the spray glue onto it, it means then that all these fine lines of the pattern have caught nicely. So I don't very often use that glue because I don't like the smell of it very much, but it works beautifully with this. Now I want to cut this out as an aperture. Okay, so subsequently I'm going to take my inner die, which gave me this pattern in the first place, and I'm actually going to slot that back into place. Okay, so just slotting that back in, pop a little bit of tape in where I can, and there. See if we can't get another little piece in here as well. And another little piece up here, and then I'm going to run that through my machine again. Okay, hopefully, she says, hopefully the machine will like this. Oh no, the machine didn't like that. Just take out, I was being clever and put a shim on it, And I maybe shouldn't have been so clever, eh? So let me just say, do you like this? So just running that through. Whoops, hold on, hold on, hold on, we're coming, we're coming. And so is Christmas. So you can see from the other side that that has just cut out my frame part in the middle. So I can then just carefully pop this out so that that is a perfect match for my piece in the middle. Okay. The reason why my machine struggled with that is because I thought it might need a metal shim, and in all honesty it didn't. So, piece of waste, but we can use that for something in a minute. So here is my frame then, and then I'm going to stick that all on top of a red card like that, but I'm going to pop that with some foam on the back. So let's just give ourselves a frame. So it's a different way of making a frame, so with the pattern there, but it just gives that just a little something. And then I'm going to mix it or decorate it with a couple of items that we've already been using this week, just so that it, if you have been purchasing anything, which I know many of you have, and I'm very, very thankful for that. And don't forget, all going into a prize draw for this Sunday. Yay! So let me just get my card. So I've got a blank coconut card, made a card out of the blank bit there, and I'm just going to stick this down. So this is my card. My first card base is going to be some of the red satin card from Craft Artist, and just pop that into place there. Then I'm going to take the backings off of here, and then I'm just going to make a very quick embellishment to go with that. Nice lot of foam. I'm a convert to foam on the back, and I just think, try it one day if you're not someone that's into foam. Yes, it means that your card is going to be more of a problem to post, but as I always say, if you've gone to the bother of making a little work of art, then you want to make it look pretty damn good. Oh. So let's just pop that centrally as I can over the top, and just carefully. And as you can see, I've used 2 pieces of foam all the way around because I do not want a saggy bit in the middle. As we so often say, we don't need saggy bits in the middle. So if you look at this now, you could see the dimension there, I think, which gives you a brilliant, lovely finish and looking quite posh, I reckon. I'm going to pop that to one side just for a minute whilst I take another piece of my satin card, and I'm going to do a little bit of experiment with this. I'm going to pop that into my stamping platform, and I've got my crackled background here, so I'm going to add some of my Versamark watermark ink, because I want to just put some embossing powder on that. So I'm just going to press that in. So I'm going to do the same technique as we've done before with this one, but 2 things. One, I'm doing it onto a satin finish card, so therefore it's already got a lot of markings on it, and I've got to be, can you see that now? Beautiful. Now, so I've got to be careful, but I just thought, wouldn't that look lush if we, just a second, I'm going to just grab a piece of card. If we then added to this some gold embossing powder, how about that? I think this could look and could possibly be one of my favourites. Okay, so just check that that's all over. I think it is. Yeah. Carefully pick that up. Pop that powder out. Now, because you've got to be careful when you're actually heat setting anything like this, I'm going to heat it from behind first, just to sort of get it going and get it warm, and then hopefully it will actually go very, very quickly. So I'm just going to bring my gun from behind just to warm this up. Then hopefully I won't have to hover my heat tool over it for very long before it changes, because you don't want to get the surface too hot or over hot. Check in a few places. Make sure that that's all caught. I think it's now. So you can see now that we've got this gorgeous, colour with the gold on there. Thinking that's good. I'm going to take then my poinsettia. I'm going to pop that over the top, put a bit of tape on, and then run that through my machine. So it's the same that I've been doing in earlier programmes this week for the 12 days of Christmas. So if you have missed it, just nip over to one of the earlier days to see that. I'm just going to put that through my machine. And I think that that's really going to be quite a nice finish to it. I'm just going to make up the poinsettia. I've already cut out one of the the mirror ones, so that I've got the large one as my base, and just bringing in these ones. And as you can see, doesn't that give a lovely effect? I think that looks rather lush. So just take that off. Whoops. Oh, so I'm just going to take each of the petals. I'm going to bend it around my finger, and then once I've done all of those, I'm then just going to pull them all up so they sort of meet in the middle there. Okay, I'm just going to grab my hot glue gun, just to do these. So again, each petal, just going to bend that down and then up, so that I've got this rather splendid poinsettia that's going to go onto my Nordic squares as my embellishment. So just bringing these all in like so. Just looking. I'm looking because I don't know what I've done with my gold stamens. Okay, we'll find them in a minute. So let's place together. So we'll take my larger size, which is actually the same size as the one that's on the bottom, and we're just off centre that. So that's going to go okay there. for the next size, turning the petals round so that they are just about in this. So these petals are in the centre of these ones. Next one. Just get something just to hold that down with. Press that down. Oh, I just love this. Just love this. The way these, I love poinsettias. I love flowers. I like working with a big flower, and I'm really liking the background stamp effect that this comes out with. So let's go the whole hog, and let's put in this one as well. So just bend those, and last bit of glue to pop that there. And I will attempt to find myself some stamens to go in the middle, but in all honesty, look at that. It is a beauty. It is a beauty. Bringing in my card base here then. Whoops. My bits of string everywhere. So my beautiful poinsettia, I'm not going to put any other embellishments with it. I'm just going to put that little beauty in the corner there. So I'm going to pop a little bit of glue into there. So that goes on that corner. Just hold that there for a second or two whilst it takes. Then I've already cut out from earlier in the week. We had the beautiful From Our House to Yours, and I thought that that made a lovely sentiment just to fit in the centre. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue onto that. Obviously you can make any sentiment that you wish, but I just thought, well, we had these ones earlier in the week. Last Sunday should have been the Sunday special, so they should look just about right. Just put a few little dots of glue on here, and I have to be just a bit careful because I am going to be working straight onto the satin card, so I really, if I possibly can, want to make sure that this goes down and done rather than keep moving it about. So subsequently I've cut two of them like I did before, and then I've put one straight on top of the other. So I'm going to go on a little poinsettia leaf. Like that. Oh, had to stop talking for a second. Okay, so I'm just going to hold that down whilst it grabs. It is dry as clear glue, so where I've just splodged it a little bit there, that will dry off and it will look good, I think you'll find. Now, just going to grab myself some little gems. So these are rhinestone gems, as they call them. And I'm just going to pop. Oh, do you know what? You know what it's like? Just changed my mind now. Maybe change my mind, because it depends on whether I've got maybe not change my mind. I was going to go for red, but I don't know if I've got any red that are the right size. So between each of these little flowers there is a little dot which just needs one of these rhinestones on. So I've just popped a little bit of glue on first because I want to make sure that these stay stuck. And just going to finish that off. So, yeah, I think that looks better actually, gold. It was red would have made it look, yeah, not quite so good. So just going to put some, put it in the wrong place then. Good job, it's dry as clear glue. Just get carried away here, don't I? So just popping these gems into place. So as a recap, we have used the Nordic Square frame die set, which is this lovely outer one here. I've obviously used the classic poinsettias again with my crackled background stamp, and I've used it onto the Crafter Artist satin ruby red card, and I've used some gold embossing powder so that it brings out that beautiful gold colour there, like that. And I think I'm going to be very brave. I'm going to pop these little gems into the centre there. So now this will need to dry, because otherwise it's going to look like a little nest with a white blob in the middle. But just, oh, I should have left it there. 3 little gems. So let me bring that up so that you can see. Hopefully you can see with the lights and everything. So yeah, and I've used the From Our House to Yours as the sentiment, but any sentiment we will be fine with it. Ruby red craft artist silver, satin and mirror card, and also the vintage gold one as well. I've used the satin vintage gold there too for that. As I said, you can do it in any colours, but I've gone very traditional with colours, but a bit modern with the actual pattern. So I hope you like that one. And just one more to go, or 2 more to go. 2 more to go. Depending on, well, we'll have to think about that, because I might have had to change the last 1 or 2. Don't know yet. So yeah, thank you very much for joining me. Now, don't forget, anything that you fancy the look of is over as long as supplies last on maximumcrafts.com website. Do go and join the Facebook group, where you'll see loads of ideas with people all to do with all the dies that we use, which is Maximum Crafts. Surprise, surprise. Please continue to comment, because it's lovely to see all your comments. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you. See you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.